Bismillah Rahman Rahim. In this session, we will discuss the uses of radioactivity. Uh, uh, for this problem, on page 273, what type of radiation is used to sterilize equipment, and what type of radiation are used in smoke alarm? The uses of radioactivity, radioactive substance called radioisotopes are now made in nuclear reactor and have many uses. And a smoke alarm consists of a battery, an alarm device, two ionization chamber, which are identical except for one being open to the air and the other closed. Each chamber contains two electrodes and across them the battery. A radioactive source, usually Americium-241, in each chamber emits alpha particles. For smoke detectors, we use Americium-241 and it emits alpha particles which produce ionization of the air molecules. The ion moves towards the electrode and a current flows. Since conditions are the same in each chamber, the small current produced in each is the same. When smoke enters the chamber opens to the air, the motion of ion is impeded. The motion of ion is impeded because of this smoke. When they adhere to the smoke particles, the current falls. The value of the current falls because of this alpha emission. The current was continuous because of this smoke particles. The penetration was further reduced and the current falls, and this difference will be detected on this smoke detector alarm system. And alpha particles are chosen because they do not travel far in air. Why do alpha particles are chosen for this smoke detector? Because it do not travel a long distance in air, so do not pose a health risk. So it does not pose a health risk, because if it goes to the air, it may strike to the human body or other materials. So a long half-life sources is preferred so that a constant activity is maintained. Usually in this chamber, a long half-life sources are used, so they gives very low activity. Sterilization purposes, gamma radiation is used to sterilize medical instruments by killing bacteria. So this gamma radiation are used for killing bacteria of medical instruments. It is used to irradiate certain foods, again killing bacteria to preserve the food for longer duration. Radiation is safe to use as no radioactive material goes into the food, because no radioactive material goes to the food. The gamma radiation is chosen for its high penetrating power. It can pass through the packaging, and a long half-life source is preferred so that constant activity is maintained. This is the usage of in a part question number 9. Explain how radioisotopes can be used to monitor the thickness of the metal sheet in industry. If a radioisotope is placed on one side of the moving sheet of a material and a GM tube on the other, the count rate decreases if the thickness increases. If thickness increases, the count rate will decrease. This technique is used to control automatically the thickness of the paper, plastic and metal sheet during manufacturing. Because of their range, beta emitters are suitable source for monitoring the thickness of the thin sheet, but gamma emitters would be needed for thicker material as they are more penetrating and absorb less. So for small sheets, beta emitters are used, and for beta emitting source are used, and for thick materials the gamma is used. The half-life of the source should be long so that activity remains constant over the time. The flaw in the material can be detected. In a similar way, the count rate will increase where a flaw is present. So means there is material is not available, so the more penetration will be there and contrast will increase. So the diagnosis and treatment of cancer. To detect cancer, radioactive material or chemical is preferably absorbed on cancer cells and emits gamma radiation. Gallium-69 is injected to the patient. This radioactive substance is injected into the body, and this gamma radiation is chosen because it easily penetrates skin and internal organs and has low ionizing power. And this external imaging of this intensity of gamma radiation indicates where the chemical has strongly absorbed and has the location of the cancer cell. So after tracing that gallium source in the location, and this locations can be collected. Radioactive isotopes should be chosen with a short half-life that matches the time needed for the procedure, because this is an internal dose, so it should be eliminated as fast as possible. So for intaking uh, for injecting any particle, short-lived isotopes are preferred, because because of short half-life it will decay very quickly and does not pose any ongoing radiation threat. The time needed to transfer the source from production site to the patient also need to be considered. In the treatment of cancer by radiotherapy, high energy beam of gamma radiations are focused directly on a tumor in order to kill the cancerous cell. So radiotherapy, the high energy beam of gammas are focused on the tumor to kill the cancerous cell. So the beams are rotated along the body to minimize damage to the surrounding tissues. So tracers are used. The progress of a small amount of a weak radioisotopes injected into the system can be traced by a GM tube or other detector. This method is used in medicine to detect brain tumors. Tracers are injected into the body and then it is detected by the GM tube or other detectors. Internal bleeding industries measure the fluid flow in pipes, and industrial usage for fluid flow in the pipe is also used through this radioactive substance. Carbon dating to estimate the aging of the um, plants or any other trees. So when a tree dies, no fresh carbon is taken in, so the carbon 14 continues to decay with the half-life of this. So this half-life decreases, and after one half-life, the fraction of carbon remains in the sample will be half, as much as in the living trees. So after this year, the fraction of carbon 14 remains is 1/4. After this much year, it will be half. After 11,400 years, it will be 1/4. By measuring the radioactivity of carbon-containing materials such as wood, linen, or charcoal, the age of the archaeological remains can be estimated with a range of this to this year. In the next session, we'll discuss safety precautions.